We are here today at the NatWest Accelerator for Michelle Lynch's framework, all about financial literacy. We're going to have the Lord Mayor here, we're going to have prayers, we're going to have scriptures, and we're going to hear from Michelle herself. We're also going to hear from all the people who attended today, who are going to ask some questions all about the new framework that is going to help future generations when it comes to managing their money.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, good evening.
Next up, we have the amazing, the rightful worshipful, the Lord Mayor of Birmingham, Councillor Ken Wood. He's a highly respected civic leader. Councillor Wood has devoted his public service career to supporting Birmingham communities and championing inclusion and enterprise. As Lord Mayor, he represents the highest office in the city, upholding traditions of honour, unity and leadership. So without further ado, Councillor Ken Wood to the stage, please.
It's great for the Lady Mayoress and myself to be here. So thank you very much for inviting us. I must admit, I read the briefing on this. And really, in this day and age, it really is hard to think of anything more important for everyone to have, and that's financial literacy. What with the cost of living crisis, interest rates, employment issues, being money-wise is something that really does span all ages these days. But really, if that financial literacy can be nurtured at an early age, hopefully problems further down the line can be avoided. I feel that youngsters today don't necessarily enjoy the opportunities that many of us older ones, hands up the older ones, that we had when we were growing up. I mean, the internet has more or less killed things off, like doing paper rounds, delivering papers for the local newsagent. Supermarkets have all but killed off traditional milkmen. Both of these I had at one time as a child. Now, whilst the do-gooders may consider that it was some form of cheap labour or child labour, what it did do was give me a sense of reward. It allowed me to save up for things, and it taught me the value of money. I can tell you that some of the best days of my life were spent delivering milk for the local farmer and then working on the farm during school holidays. So Saturday jobs, etc., and that were also common then, are not quite so common now. So with these learning options disappearing, I certainly applaud Michelle for coming forward and launching this initiative. It seems to me that today's society no longer has patience and that people seem to want everything now. I see it, I want it now. And of course there are many ways you can get things immediately, even if you don't have the money. But no matter what way you choose, it still has to be paid for in the end. And this is where I'm sure this programme will certainly come in very useful. Learning how to be financially astute, learning the value of money, learning how to live within your means, and of course, being made aware of the pitfalls if it goes wrong. And also, even more importantly these days, is avoiding those who are only too happy to make their money out of other people's misery. All of these things are so important these days, especially with our youngsters who are so impressionable and indeed vulnerable. So as policymakers and in a lot of ways mentors, we owe it to those following us to not only teach them financial literacy, but also to actually live by it ourselves. And I think we might all benefit actually from the insight that this B.A.L.A.N.C.E programme provides. So Lady Mayoress and myself are really looking forward to tonight and listening to tonight's speakers, and again would applaud Michelle for coming forward and launching this very important programme. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure for us to be here.
So next up we have Dr. Rashida, who has travelled all the way from Cardiff. She has come all the way from Cardiff today. So literally a round of applause for that within itself. So Dr. Rashida has worked in education for 40 plus years, which is absolutely amazing. She's worked in schools, she's worked in colleges, and has delivered teacher training as well as worked in university. She's all about supporting the community, supporting entrepreneurs to be the best version of themselves, and also sits on many boards to also support them with their areas and supporting their local communities. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Dr. Rashida, to share how important this framework is in schools and based on what you do. Is that great? Is that okay? Fabulous. Round of applause, please.
Thank you very much, everyone. And supporting Michelle, I could not say no, even though I was travelling all the way from Cardiff. She is very, very persuasive. Those are one of her skills, many other skills. I met Michelle not long ago, and then we went out for a coffee afterwards, and her presence, her level of engagement, her passion for the framework and what it can do for people generally, and more particularly for young people who seem to be getting into greater and greater debt as time goes on. And it's a debt which is never ending. Some students who manage to get to university or colleges are already in debt, and that debt will stay with them for the rest of their life almost, unless they get mum's or dad's purse out or their credit cards out. It still stays with them. I think this framework is absolutely essential. And I think it's a framework which is much needed in our communities for all age group, particularly young people. So one of the conversations that Michelle and I had was my involvement still in education. I still work in education on a voluntary basis and other ways. And I work in schools in Birmingham, particularly because I do think Birmingham has had a lot of issues as far as education is concerned, with young people in particular. And looking at statistics, and I looked at some statistics about the age profile of people who are getting into debts, and young people are a high percentage, sadly. A debt which once they realise it, they don't know how to get out of it. And if you try and talk to them about it, they are almost blanked because they're just overwhelmed with the debt that they've got and the lack of finances they've got. They are either unemployed or they're in very low-paid jobs. And I think rather than reacting to situations, we need to be more proactive and engage with education when young people are still in schools and still in colleges and still in universities, to prevent them or help them not to get into debt. To think about, if they haven't got the money, they can't buy something, what to do. I'm not asking them to go back to the generations below where they didn't buy anything unless they saved up for it, because I think this generation can't wait. That patience doesn't exist in the same way it exists. It still exists in some people, of course, but it doesn't exist in the same way that it perhaps existed once upon a time. So what I'd like to do is take Michelle to a number of these academies, number of schools, to try and persuade principals, CEOs to develop a program where Michelle can share her framework to ensure that our young people, who are our future, and we forget that sometimes, that these young people are our future. They are the ones who are going to be developing things, becoming entrepreneurs, contributing to society more widely. One of the things I've recently started in Birmingham, and thanks to the Mayor, who has agreed with this one, and I'm delighted, that we started Debating Society, and I'm doing that through the Lunar Society that I'm also a trustee at. And Michelle and I talked about that, and that was one of the ways we would get into getting young people to talk about what is debt? How do we deal with debt? And that's another way of getting students, young people, to talk about finances. If they have it, if they don't have it, and how to get it. Michelle, I wish you all the very best. I think you're doing great work. And I do hope, like all the people have said before me, go higher.
Next up, we have the one and only Michelle Lynch. She's an experienced finance professional and a passionate advocate for purpose-led wealth. Michelle is the creator and the founder of the B.A.L.A.N.C.E framework. Her mission is to empower people to thrive financially and strategically in their daily lives. So, without further ado, Can I have the absolutely amazing Michelle Lynch to the stage, please?
Good evening, everyone. Wow, let me just take it in for a little bit. Let me begin by honoring the Right Honourable, the Lord Mayor, Councillor Ken Wood and his miss, Reverend Errol Lawson, Bishop and Pastor Brooks, Dr. Rashida, and all my distinguished guests, leaders, families, and friends. Your presence here tonight tell me one thing: you care about change. This isn't just another event, it is a movement, and your presence gives it strength. Before I go further, I must pause to acknowledge two extraordinary individuals whose support behind the scenes has meant so much to this journey. Councillor Yvonne Mosquito, though her unable to be with us tonight, has sent her a heartfelt apology and full support. After hearing the vision for the B.A.L.A.N.C.E, she shared how deeply inspired she was by this mission. She sent her warmest regards and believes wholeheartedly in the impact this will have, not just a framework, but a force for real transformation, change in our community. Secondly, Dr. Carl George, OBE, a giant in governance, a mentor, and a personal professional. He helped me on my journey. He pushed me, he stretched me, he challenged me. He also sent his apology. Dr. George has walked with me. He has championed me through my career. After sharing the heart of the vision with him, his response was nothing short of powerful. This is not just needed, he said, it is necessary. He's excited, not just about the framework, but about the support he can take and level me up. And oh my gosh, I'm ready for that challenge. He encourages, he mentors me, and he's committed as we scale this to the next level. And I salute you, Dr. Carl George, in your absence. Financial literacy is not a luxury. It is a lifestyle. It's not just about money. It's about freedom, well-being, and dignity. Because for too long, financial pressure doesn't just show up in the bank account. It shows up in their mental health. In sleepless night, in strange relationship, in impossible choices between heating or eating. The B.A.L.A.N.C.E framework was created to change that story. So who is Michelle Lynch? Let me introduce myself. It's not just about title. I am a woman with purpose. Yes, I'm an accountant with 3 years of decade in the field, from finance manager to the founder of Lynch's Resources Limited, an award-winning company. My journey has rooted in the resilience and vision. I held leadership roles that stretch across beyond spreadsheet. Yes, I'm a non-exec director for the NHS Trust. I am the chair of the organ donor committee of the trust, and also I'm the chair of the advisory appointed committee. That's where they appoint people as consultant on the trust. And I'm a member of the Integrated Care Board, advisor on the university board, and serve on other boards as well. But most of all, I am a child of God. A proud mother. This is my true foundation. And right here in Birmingham, I serve as a church trustee and treasurer for both diocese and credit union. I have spoken, served, and stood with my community. So believe me when I said this framework doesn't come from theory. It comes from lived experience, from heart, from faith, and from purpose. We are here tonight because something must change. I call it the financial landscape, a decade of change. Let's be honest, too many children born in household relying on benefit, growing up to be on that cycle. Too many families, one unexpected crisis. Too many individuals suffer in silence, trapped in shame they didn't choose. And while inflation rises, wage often sometimes doesn't. We call it just about managing, but reality, it's about barely surviving. Student debt have doubled, now averaging about 48,000 per student. Only 16% of renters believe they can own a house. Youth unemployment is 643,000, and that's between 16 to 24 unemployed, sitting on their talents. As you can see, some stats here, 4 in every 10 adults did not expect to save any money in the coming year. That's based on 2023. And I could go on and on about stats. However, I want to draw you into the next slide. Sorry, this slide is about the savings, and I could deep dive into savings. Over 75, as you see, 83% of them save more. The younger they get, they hardly save. Back in the days, people would say, spend a little, save a little. Unfortunately, that's not the theory now. Let's go on to the next one. Half of adults behind on bills reported high anxiety. Not just stress, but life-altering anxiety that affects self-worth and make it feel like stress meaningless. 49% people are behind on their bills. This is the world we are living in, but that will change. It has to change. Let's move on. This isn't just about money, it's about mental health. And building futures where people can thrive, not just survive. Far too long, people are just surviving. We have to thrive. I wanted to bring that picture a little bit closer. Mental health. So mental health is not just about other things. Money linked to mental health. So the balance, it's about the holistic approach, the financial literacy and the well-being that underpins that. 49%, you're choosing between eating or heating. Anxiety, it comes out into the workplace, it comes out into the schools, it comes out into everywhere you go. Let's change that. And guess what? You can smile. Because this is why the balance exists. B.A.L.A.N.C.E. Can I hear that? Balance. Balance. Let's balance back society. Because financial literacy is mental health literacy. Because no one should lose hope over utility bill. This is the why. As a mother, as a woman of faith, a financial profession, I could no longer stand by and watch this pattern continue. I've lived it, I have witnessed it, so I created the balance framework, not to simply educate, but to liberate. Who wants to be liberated? We are not just talking money, we are breaking generational cycle. We are building legacy that must last. We are going to leave legacy for our children and our children's children. Yeah. So, Can I get your engagement? How many of you were taught about budgeting, debt, or credit score in school? Okay. How many of you wish you know what you know now? Even the mayor said yes. That's right. That's why we create the balance. Because silence on financial education leads to struggles. And struggles lead to shame. And when you teach someone to manage money, you don't just change their finance. You change their confidence, their relationship, their future, and you change a community. We are community. We are building a new community. It's not about numbers. This is about freedom. Everybody always say, Michelle, what is this balance framework? So I said, the B, break that money mindset. So that's all about your mindset belief around money. Some people grow up, money didn't grow on tree, and all those mindset around it. The A, assessing and addressing the debts. And I'm going to ask you all to say the L. Can I hear that again? Correct. And the A, accumulating saving. The N, nurturing your credit. C, create income streams. And the E, because you all love that. Let me hear that. Can I hear that? Perfect. Let me give you 3 applications. These are persons, organization I need to collaborate with, that how one of the letters will merge in without giving too much away. So for university students, I'm going to take the A, which is accumulating savings. Because university students, if there's any in the room, my apology, they don't know anything. They know spend. Gen Z. But they don't know about the other bit, the saving. Because they don't know about the 50-30-20 principle. They don't. Because it's all about now. Most are taught to chase degrees, university students, but not to build cushions. We are helping them graduate with resilience, but not results. By doing the balance, we'll help them to save and avoid debt traps altogether. So they'll get the degree, but they'll also be able to save, and they'll be able to avoid debt. For the students, so that's if you're in year 7 to year 13, I will go through the L. I'm just using one as an example. Living within their means. So if you teach them young, it's embedded in them, and it becomes a norm. So you can't help them when they're at university. You got to start down by the grassroots. I will help year 7 to year 13 student grasp money purpose before habits takes root. This will allow them to feel like they're finally having power over money, not the other way around. I'll also go a little bit further. I would love to work with the parents, because sometimes the parents, what they're teaching the children. So you do it in the school, but it's what also they're doing at home. That need to be reciprocated also. So we'll work along that side, because how can a child need an iPhone 16 at the age of 12, 13? Do they understand the value? And why would a mom go out of the way to get that even when they can't on a credit card? Can I just say that again? So if you need a Nike, any youngsters in the room, do you understand the value of it? As the shoes is good. It's about what's in the brain. Yeah. It's not always about JD, or is it, I can't keep up with the trend now, Louis Vuitton or all those. Yeah. And yet still, parents still do go out. So it's about working with them and working with the parents. DWP client, I would use a C. Creating income stream. We can teach practical way to earn sustainable income from your hobbies. some people call it side hustle, depending on your age group. I'm very young, by the way, just in case. So if you want to call it hobby, your side hustle, a lot of these hobbies, side hustles, can become thriving business that can change a community, that can create wealth within that community. So we'll help them to launch and grow their business. This is not just about theory. This is transformation. How did I get here apart from my knowledge, experience, and all of that? I run a focus group. I am young, and young people are attracted to me, so they always talk to me. And I pull things from them without their realizing. So it's about how they're managing money. So some were done by phone calls, some are other experience. And hence, that's why I am here today. My vision, I'm not just launching a framework, I'm launching a system shift. In school, I would love to deliver a 12-week curriculum that equips teenagers with financial confidence before they leave school. I do have short-term and long-term plan. And yes, primary school will be in it, but I'm on a journey. In university, reducing student debt burden. Can you imagine, you come out of university, you did meet a guy in university as well. You wanted to get married, you wanted to buy a house, but when both of you add up your two debts, you can't get a mortgage. That's the reality. So reducing students' debt burden, interact coaching and fostering financial resilience with graduates before they graduate. In partnership with DWP, helping individual transfer from survival to sustainable, from not just developing, but launching and stepping out. At the government level, pushing the mandatory financial education in the national curriculum. This is system change. I'm not saying all of this will happen overnight, but by God's grace, we will get there. This is policy reforming. This is intergenerational transformation. If we don't do something now, the world will be in, I'm not sure. But here is a balance that we can take this forward and change. And as I close, I would say, if you don't teach our children how to manage money, they will grow up to be adults who are managed by money. Let's not leave the generation to figure it out on their own. Let's not allow adults to suffer in silence. Let's change the story together. Let's balance. So, how can you partner with me in this movement? I'll ask you to host a balanced workshop in your school, college, church, work organization, or if you're doing a conference. Share this message on your platform. Fund or sponsor future community program. Be an advocate for financial well-being in your purpose. Together, we will raise a generation that is financially literate. Let the movement begin tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you all. And that is the B.A.L.A.N.C.E framework.
My name is Esenam, and I am the proud daughter of this amazing woman over here. Who created the B.A.L.A.N.C.E framework, as we all know. Tonight has been truly unforgettable, and I am honoured to be standing here in front of all of you. As we celebrate not just the launch, but the beginning of a movement that will change lives. As I know, I'm in year 11. I do not know anything that has been taught from school. I know everything from my mother. First, I'd like to thank the Lord Mayor, Councillor Ken Wood. Thank you for being with us here today and sharing such a powerful, inspiring message and giving us a little insight into what you had as a child. Your words gave us hope and a reminder of what leadership and belief can look like. So here's a small piece of gratitude. And to our joyful host who forgot about me, Belinda. What a gift you are. You have brought light, laughter, and kept the entire event flowing so beautifully. Thank you for your warm heart. So here's another little gift I hope you like. To Deirdre, I don't know if I'm going to say the last name right, Lavasser, our Q&A host. Thank you for pulling out meaningful questions and creating a space where ideas and dreams could flow. To Reverend Errol Lawson, thank you for the uplifting prayers, for your powerful presence. You have such a way of bringing encouragement and strength into a room. To Pastor Yvonne Brooks, thank you for reading the scripture with such beauty and conviction. It's truly anchored this evening into faith and purpose. And Bishop Mevley Brooks, thank you for being here as a witness to the moment of change and growth. And to every one of you who showed up tonight, thank you. Your presence has not gone unnoticed. And it is a statement to what you have helping to my mom. And before I forget, Dr. Rashima, we just saved the best till last, and thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. And I want to give a special thank you to everyone who has been working in the background with my mom, running around, helping her, doing the little checks that she doesn't remember. Thank you for all of you. Thank you for all of you. I see you, I hear you, I live with her. So thank you. You have carried her through this trying time, and it's a lot more than everyone else sees in the background. So thank you. And finally, to the woman who made it happen tonight, my mother, Michelle. Tonight, we do not just celebrate this amazing launch, we celebrate your birthday, so we celebrate you. Or as you call it, 25 plus fat. Because it's also your birthday, I do have a gift for you.
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
So I hope you enjoy your birthday, even though I know you have been nervous throughout the whole day, the whole week, the whole lead up. I've seen the nerves. I hear the nerves. I'm a drama student. I do get it. But I'm truly proud of you because you have shown me many things that I would have not known in school. For example, budgeting. I have a lot more money than my friends do now. And thank you for just showing me that the impossible is possible if you just break it down and live within your means. So thank you. I love you. We all love you. I'm excited to be here, to be a part of this, to be a part of your legacy. And thank you to everyone else who came here to carrying on the Balance Frame torch, hoping to bring it into every school, every home, and every heart.
Wow.
I was really looking forward to tonight, and I was certainly not disappointed. I mean, Michelle's such an inspiration, and if we can get balance out into the communities, into the schools, into the universities, it will make such a difference to a lot of people, and it will bode well for the future as well as they grow up. But what an inspiration Michelle is. She deserves every success. And to hear some lovely words from my colleague, Councillor Mosquito, that just underlines the whole thing. As I say, I wasn't disappointed. I didn't expect to be disappointed either. So it's been great to be here.
I think Michelle did an absolutely excellent delivery, raising awareness of the necessity to have this plan in place, particularly with young people. And also, it's very clear that she's got a great group of people to work with her and be behind her on this initiative, which is much needed.
I'm really, really proud and really pleased to have been invited to be part of Michelle's launch event today for the B.A.L.A.N.C.E framework. I think the work she is doing here is incredible. It's really, really necessary. Part of financial literacy for all of our young people and beyond is amazing, and I'm really proud to be a part of it with her and help her in this journey.
B.A.L.A.N.C.E.